Coulter, the best-selling author in Trump We Trust. That's her latest book. If you haven't got it, it's a big bestseller, In Trump We Trust. You follow her on Twitter and, of course, Facebook, and now Instagram. And go to AnnCoulter.com. You can get her new column there. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. I miss being in your studio with you.
Yes, it's nice here, isn't it?
It's very nice. Most radio studios are so crappy.
Yeah, tell everybody. We're not one of these. Every radio station you go to now, there's like 50 desks and only 2 people left working there. Here, there's 1 million people.
Yes, and very sleek and modern.
Yes, and then now the president tonight is going to Davos, Switzerland, to be with these swamp people, these globalists. These open borders people. What do you think?
You can imagine how much I love that, Mark Simone.
Well, maybe he'll go tell him off nicely.
I don't know. Based on recent experience, he'll be coming out to reduce the carried interest loophole even more.
Oh, please. He did a good job on the Democrats in the shutdown. He stood up to them.
He did, but though I do think the media narrative is completely wrong on this. I do give Trump credit on this, but if the shutdown had been on anything else, it would have been the usual pattern. You and I have been watching this for, I don't know, decades now. Whenever there's a shutdown, it doesn't matter if it's Republican Congress, Democrat president, Democrat Congress. Whenever there is a government shutdown, Republicans get blamed. Democrats are, I suppose they claim there's some logic to this that, well, but Republicans are against big government. Well, you know, for one thing, so are liberals. I noticed that whenever there's a government shutdown, you know, the only government workers we hear about, the military. It's as if that's all our streams down libertarian-like government is doing for us. So apparently those are the only ones they consider worth defending. But for the Democrats to shut down the government in order to demand amnesty, which has been thoroughly, stoutly rejected by the American people every time they've been allowed to vote for 20 years now. I mean, this goes back to Proposition 187 in California in 1996. That was a proposition that would deny illegal aliens government benefits. It was overwhelmingly supported by every demographic except Hispanics, and they voted for it by more than 30%. I think a majority of blacks, a majority of whites, a majority of Asians. Pete Wilson was losing his reelection bid as governor. He was way down in the polls. None of the predictions would have had him winning. He suddenly comes, by supporting Proposition 187, comes back to a crushing win. Last time Republicans could win in California, but then, of course, the courts got a hold of it. And a court decided that a proposition voted on by the people was unconstitutional. It was an utterly lawless ruling out of California, but Gray Davis got elected and didn't appeal it. That's why California is in the state it's now, running like a top. But there have been initiatives in state after state since then. The Bush, McCain, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, all these traitors have conspired to sneak through amnesties, full amnesties, as Lindsey Graham's bipartisan deal is, in the dark of night, at least twice. It cost Bush and to the Republicans, that 2006 midterm election, when Democrats swept in, as I pointed out in Adios America, polls at the time showed it was Bush's push for amnesty that voters were furious about. The Iraq War in 2006 was more popular than Bush's push for amnesty. So it's been shut down. It's destroyed the careers of nearly a dozen Republicans, the ones I just mentioned. I'll throw in Jeb Bush. Neither a Democratic Congress nor a Republican Congress have been able to pass even this precious, allegedly narrow amnesty for dreamers, not when Obama had both houses of Congress and the presidency. I saw some liberal on TV saying, oh, no, it was just because he had more urgent concerns dealing with the economy. Well, again, for one thing, according to them, dumping millions and millions of low-wage workers on the country is fantastic for the economy. Well,
it is for the lobbyists and the donors and the companies.
Right. But number two, I'm sorry, no, that's BS. He wasn't going to start with something that was as even more unpopular than Obamacare. And the Republicans got control of Congress. They couldn't pass it. That's why Obama. Oh, there have been initiatives in state after state, Montana, Washington State, states you wouldn't even expect it. Similar, Arizona, of course, places you wouldn't even expect. Always, whatever the anti-immigration position is, that side always wins overwhelmingly, and then the media turn around and say, oh, no, but we have these phony polls showing that Americans love amnesty. I mean, we elected Donald Trump. Lindsey Graham got 0.00% of the vote. Donald Trump got at least enough of the vote to be made president. Every time Americans go to the polls, whenever they're allowed to actually vote on immigration, however you phrase it, whatever the question is, they want less immigration. So for the Democrats to shut down the government until illegal aliens are given amnesty, that's why Republicans won the shutdown fight, and it lasted about 48 hours.
Hey, do you think also a lot of voters were watching Chuck Schumer pound the table, fight with passion, and then one time he cried, and they think to themselves, how come he doesn't get like that over me?
Absolutely.
Why did he fight like that for me?
Why aren't the Democrats fighting for Americans like that? Trump's beautiful campaign when he said, Americans have dreams too, and they're the ones I care about.
Well, you got to stop with this word dreamers. That's a bad word. It's like saying undocumented.
No, you know what Howie Carr's word for them is? I love it, and we must both adopt it now without explanation. The nightmares.
I like that. But they're not dreamers. The person's still in another country trying to get here legally but can't get the paperwork, can't get the approval. That's the dreamer who's dreaming of coming here.
Or the Americans who hoped their children would grow up and, have happy lives and not be murdered by a legal alien. They're dreamers, too.
Hey, all the bank robbers are dreamers. They're dreaming of the money.
Exactly.
All criminals are dreamers. That's why they're doing it.
No, I know. I put out a request on Twitter like 4 months ago for an alternate name for the Dreamers. But when I talked to Howie Carr yesterday, I realized we had the winner, the Nightmares.
All right. Well, now, hey, what about this FBI secret society and all this? They found one of these Peter Strzok text where he said to the woman, she says, well, don't worry, Mueller. And he was on the Mueller investigation. He writes back, forget it. There's no there.
Yes, that's very interesting. This whole thing is interesting. And I don't know why Trump doesn't I don't know why he's waiting. My understanding was, and perhaps I'm wrong about this, but that the president could declassify whatever he wanted to declassify. But it sounds like we all need to see it. I hate talking about leaks, about things I haven't seen, but the texts we have seen between these FBI agents are pretty damning. And I mean, again, hate watching MSNBC. The big line is always, "Oh, Republicans are shocked that FBI agents have political opinions." But no, that's not the point. It's that you don't want an investigator on what is supposed to be an impartial truth for justice to hate the object of the investigation.
And to write to his friend, don't worry, I got a scheme to get rid of him.
Right. I mean, you don't want somebody to be hungry to get somebody. Maybe if you're going after the mob or just like a general concept terror, you want somebody who hates terrorism, but you don't want someone who hates this one particular guy you're investigating.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of MSNBC, did you see last night they were running promos all day? Rachel Maddow, 9 o'clock, exclusive interview with Chuck Schumer.
I hope it gets played far and wide. I don't think the Democrats listen to me, but if I were the Democrats, I would take Chuck aside and say, Chuck, we love you. You've been working in the trenches for such a long time, but we just can't put you on TV.
Yeah, they should say, we focus grouped it, and you look like a really sleazy, pay-for-play bureaucrat. Nobody trusts you.
No, but it's we don't have too many just lucky breaks as Republicans don't. But one of the lucky breaks is Chuck Schumer loves being on TV. Oh, also Adam Schiff, the West Coast version of Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, I mean, could you think of two phonier looking guys than Adam Schiff and Chuck Schumer? If you,
I hope no Democrats who work in Washington listen to this program. Just say we're safe because I don't. Oh, never mind. Those guys want to be on TV. They can't stop them.
yeah, but if you went into a car dealer and the salesman was Adam Schiff, you'd go right to another person. It's beady-eyed, shifty-eyed looking guy.
I do think the destruction of these texts, and again, I would like to know what is in the text and at what point they got destroyed. But this is really, this is potentially a very serious obstruction case. The left keeps talking about, and the media keeps talking about, Donald Trump simply doing his job. He's allowed to fire people and talk about having a political opinion. He's allowed to say something nice about Flynn, someone who works for him. The most ordinary behavior of a president is they're trying to, twist it into an obstruction case. Destroying documents.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Serious.
This may be the biggest obstruction case in a million years. Well, I hate to say we're out of time, but everybody go to AnnCoulter.com. You can get her column there. Order her book if you don't have it, In Trump We Trust. New column comes out tomorrow, right? Or tonight?
Tonight for the truly enthusiastic. And
follow Ann Coulter on Twitter and Facebook and all that. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
Take care.